Is it not enough? This is what you wanted, and I thought it was love, but now my body's haunted, haunted by you. Salt in the wound. I wouldn't have told you if I knew you'd take it back. Someone else to hold you, someone else to know. Know you better than your ghost. I thought we were even closer, but I think you should know that you let me down. Never been so low since you know around. So how's it feel now? Keep bleeding out. Don't need me now. Better without. But do you even know that you let me down? You tell me for once. Tell me what we're missing. 'Cause I don't think we're done. And I can learn to listen. Listen to you. Like you want me to. I wouldn't have told you if I knew you'd take it back. Someone else to hold you, someone else if this is over. Someone else who pulls you closer. Someone else to give you.
What did you?
What? What happened?
So tell me if it's really over. But I think you should know that you let me down. Never been so low since you know around. So how's it feel now? Keep bleeding out. Don't need me now. Better without. But do you even know that you let me down? I
Well, we meet again. For real this time. No mistakes. We're here on a Thursday. Make no mistake, though. Storm Surge is back playing once again. ESEA main division continues tonight. Storm Surge taking on the Crimson Vortex. This is going to be a tough one for them tonight. A lot of talent on their side. We're going to break it down in just a second. My name is Evan, going to be your main caster tonight, joined on the desk tonight by Phaser. Welcome to the show again, Phaser. It's been a couple casts since you've been here. Must be exciting to be back.
I am excited, Evan. I got to spend a little bit of time in the back room right there, but we're back in front of the camera this time, and we got a banger of a matchup tonight, like you were saying, between Crimson Vortex and Storm Surge tonight. Two teams that are 3-2 so far in the ESEA League, Season 56 in the main division, and two teams that are they've been rolling a little bit in their last few games. Storm Surge, of course, as we know, on the 2-game win streak to bring them to 3-2. Meanwhile, Crimson Vortex hot off of a 13-4 win against Ahsoka on Ancient Tuesday night, I believe. Tuesday night. So both teams kind of firing on all cylinders. We've got some highlights to play from Storm Surge's last game, so we can take a look at those while we break down their game. What did you think? I mean, you were on the mic. I was on the free cam. What were your thoughts on this matchup on Tuesday?
I mean, I got to be honest. It was a bit of a slow start, going back and forth between both teams, but just a moment where Storm Surge just started to pull away, and big plays like that from Desolation are the big reason for it. But the game belonged to Doyle. That was who was running the paint on Ancient for Storm Surge. Just an absolute masterclass from the Storm Surge rifler, and that really was the big difference maker. I mean, you can see the score here. Already, Storm Surge about to dominate in this one. It was pretty clear that they were coming into this game with a mission, and that mission was to win any way possible, and they got it done. And I have to say, I was very impressed. Both these teams coming off of wins on Ancient in fairly dominating fashion. So, like you were saying, similar trajectories for both of these teams, but we're gonna have to see, because, like we mentioned it before, this is gonna be a very tough Crimson Vortex team that comes in, and there's one player in particular I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little excited to see what Springy on Crimson Vortex has for us tonight. Of course, we can see on the Facebook page a top 100 player in the NA region, so a very exciting player for the side of Crimson Vortex. But it is a team game, of course, so they are going to have some good support. We can go through the lineup here a little bit. We've got all the names in front of us. So we've got Karza. I'm gonna go with Zaytep, Springy, of course, Bobble, McDeezy, and Slushy. So they do play some games with subs, so it'll be kind of interesting to see who fills in tonight. Bobble, of course, our opper for Crimson Vortex. So I think Spring and Bobble are those two kind of big names for Crimson Vortex to watch out for tonight.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Springy especially is definitely going to be that guy for the Crimson Vortex. I mean, the biggest way to find a key to victory is just finding a way to shut them down, and that really just starts with making sure you're finding your entry kills and winning your 1v1 duels. And obviously that's easier said than done depending on the situation, but if Storm Surge is ready for the challenge tonight, they already know this, they're already prepping for it, and I think they can continue to roll tonight. I mean, we were talking with players, it seems like the vibes are at an all-time high right now. It's a bit of a struggle to start the season, but 2 games in a row that have been fairly dominant for Storm Surge, definitely can turn the tides, but you got to make sure you can keep that consistent, and especially now, because a win tonight, it is still early, but you would be in a playoff position if you can secure a win tonight. So this is just another step in that journey in making it to the main playoffs.
Yeah, this is theoretically this should be their toughest opponent of the season, and like you said, a lot on the line for both of these teams, right? Whoever wins is really going to solidify themselves in that playoff race. It's super early on in the season, so of course we can't just justify and say like, oh, this is easily like a playoff matchup or huge playoff implications, but it is good to get into that kind of zone, right? Because they have the qualification zone on Face It. It's good to get into that zone early on, build off of that momentum, and like you said, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how kind of both of these teams stack up. I think it's going to be very back and forth, which we haven't seen too much of in the last 2 games for Storm Surge.
Yeah, the last couple games definitely have been very one-sided. Either it's for Storm Surge or it's for whoever they're playing. But if we want to see sort of that consistency, you know, we're gonna have to make sure that Storm Surge is able to keep up with this potentially high octane offense that the Crimson Vortex are bringing to the table, and that really is just going to come down to what map we're going to get into. I mean, we're very close to the start of bans on Face It, so I think we can sort of transition our conversation into talking about the maps, doing our research again. Our partners at Counterstrat giving us the opportunity to collect all of this data. We want to give them a shout out and thank you for partnering us with the streams. They can meet all of your CS intel gathering needs. So please, if you're interested, please give them a shout, give them a look. It definitely improve your next big face a game you need to play. That being said, looking at the veto bans for both of these teams, very similar. Again, this has been a through line theme through a lot of these games, and it probably is going to be either Mirage or Inferno yet again.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams. I mean, Mirage is kind of um, that map that every team really should have in their arsenal. It really should kind of be your base, I believe. And Inferno is another one of those kind of maps that are kind of it's easy to pick up. It's easy to kind of understand where the pressure points are on the map, how you can take advantage of it, where the util is meant to be going. And I think those 2 maps, of course, we know that Storm Surge love those maps, but a ton of teams, especially in NA, love those maps. They're very puggy maps. They kind of like the way they flow. So I think the idea that Mirage or Inferno could be played tonight is definitely it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very obvious that those are definitely in play. But you and I, I mean, taking a look at it a little bit, we kind of have a third one in mind. Ancient as the third one. It's a kind of a little bit out there. I mean, we know Storm Surge played it last game, and so did Crimson Vortex, but it's not one of the maps that these guys often go to.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what the pick and ban strategy is. Do you pick into Inferno where, yes, if you're Storm Surge, you do play very well, but so does Crimson Vortex. So it's like you can either play on a map where both teams are solid, or you try and pick maybe more of like a neutral site for both teams, and especially coming off of a win. But I think they're telling us now the map is ready. We'll give our final predictions. I'm going to lock in on Inferno. I think we've seen it a lot. I think both these teams just really like it. So I'm going to stick with that. Phaser, what about you?
I'm gonna do the same. I think Inferno is the play here tonight. I think it's the most obvious pick, but if it is ready, we will get the reveal in a moment here. So,
Oh, we're both
oh,
wrong. Oh, we were very wrong.
we're where? Wow.
Way off tonight.
Okay. Well,
Ugh.
that you know what?
Well,
That's good though. That's good because now we get to see something
that's
new. I
not
think.
terrible.
No,
I
I think it's
almost
good for
want to
Storm Surge.
say, I mean, it's interesting because you look at the Crimson Vortex veto analyzer. They're 4-1 on Nuke, but they vetoed it 23 different times. So this isn't a
Hmm.
map they play all the time, but they do have success on it where, you take a look at Storm Surge, the opposite of that. We've seen a Nuke game this season thus far. It is on the higher end for them, but the inverse, 1-4, and yet they don't ban it all the time. So maybe an interesting strategy. We talked about maybe a neutral site was going to be the key to victory, and maybe that was the thought process going into it.
Yeah, I think maybe playing something that I'm sure they work on their nuke, quite often and enough that they feel comfortable. Clearly, not going to be one of their first bans, so leaving it to, I mean, we can't see the exact, who bans what when, but
Yeah.
at least leaving it out there on the table, they must feel confident enough for that. So, I mean, I believe I know Crimson Vortex has played it once this season. I can't remember if that was a win or a loss, but they definitely have played it this season, so it's not completely far-fetched to see them let that go through. But it's going to be really interesting. We have honestly, it's going to be super interesting to see how Storm Surge plays this map. We know they like to kind of let their, I would say, like, star players. I think everyone on the team is quite good, but they let their star players, they let Konzi, they let Doyle kind of go off and do their own thing. It's very interesting on a map like this that's super wide open, and it's going to be kind of fun to see what Desolation has in store for us tonight. And um, we're gonna have to see how he lets his troops go. But before we do that, we are going to take a quick break. So before we get into server, grab your snacks, grab your water, grab your drinks. We will be right back with some Counter Strike coming up.
This is Chris from spreadsheetpoint.com with a quick video showing you how to break links in Excel. All you have to do is open a sheet that has data taken from another workbook. Navigate to the Data tab, click on Workbook Links. You can either click Break All to break all of them, or find the one you're looking for here. Click on the ellipsis.
Keep me closer. Don't need closure. 'Cause I don't want it to end. Keep me closer. Don't need closure. 'Cause I don't want it to end.
Well, guys, we're back. I hope you've gotten everything you need to get set for this game, because we're about to get in it very, very soon. Seems like all players are in the lobby. We're just waiting for everything to get set and warm-ups to be completed. Phaser, we didn't talk about predictions for this series before we took a break, so I think that is what we should take care of right now. Who do you have coming out of this one?
You know what, Evan? I think we talked about this a little bit beforehand. I think that Storm Surge is going to take this, but it's not going to be easy. I have a feeling tonight might be our first overtime game. I
Ooh, okay,
think
that's bold.
that both
Okay.
of these teams are going to kind of go back and forth, and I mean, they're kind of both pretty. I feel like they're pretty raw on Nuke, especially in official competition. So I think Storm Surge is going to take it, but it is going to be a close one.
Yeah, I agree it's going to be close. Now, before I say this, I don't want anybody on the Storm Surge side to think I'm a doubter. I'm never a doubter. I'm just an impartial voice and reading the room here. I do think it's going to be close, but I do think Crimson Vortex might just get the edge simply on talent alone. But again, that might not be that might not be possible. I would love to be proven wrong. Again, I don't want to be seen as the doubter. I'm just taking the information that I've been given and I am regurgitating an answer. But I hope they win. I mean, I hope they do. I certainly, but we'll see. I don't know if it's going to hit overtime. I think that would be fun because, knock on, something. We have not seen overtime thus far, although it's been close. I think it was one of the first two we had done it was either like a 13-10 or like a 13-11. So we've been close, but we have yet to hit that yet. But definitely is going to be close. I think has the feel of a kind of game where there are going to be moments where we're going to go back and look and say like, oh, like that round, that big triple or the big 3K and round 16, like that was the reason why X team ended up winning. I think it's going to be one of those type of games. So we're just going to have to keep an eye out for whenever that moment comes.
Yeah, it is, I think, going to be, like you said, about those moments, right? About those key individual performances in those key rounds in the later parts of the game as we head into round number 6 of the ESEA League main division between Storm Surge and start on the T side. I think that's it's a good play. Kind of sets the tone, allows the T's to bring the pressure early on. Crimson Vortex playing pretty heavily over towards that ramp position. It's going to play favorably for them. Get ready. Rotate through. Now, Flash. It's up to him. The first one at the line.
Oh,
Finds one. Punisher with the refrag. Storm Surge, though, they are going to make their way down down ramp. Oh, a good trade, though, between Springy and Konzi. And they have the site, but Crimson Vortex not very far behind.
yeah, they got it to it quick. Konzi is going to get the bomb down, and huge shout out to Storm Surge for clearing out Bobble with the dualies. Man, that was an absolutely deadly angle that he had, and only losing one member definitely giving you a chance to salvage this round if possible, but Again, like we said, you're going to have to deal with the remaining members, and it's going to be a diffuse tap coming through from the side of the Crimson Vortex, but Kanzi, a one-tap, is going to connect onto Slushy. So a 2v2 now. Springy still looking very, very weak right now. A gust of wind might take him out, but Karza, he takes out Punisher, and he's going to try and get this defusal, but Kanzi, another huge play. 3 picks in the pistol, 4, I should say. That quad opens things up. Kanzi on a heater. Storm Surge take the first one.
Whew, what a nice clutch right there for Kanzi to open this one up. It looked like all was lost. That Vortex player starts the defuse, moves over through doubles into the corner, readjusts his sight line onto that diffuser, takes him out, and just able to barely clutch that one out. A good start for Storm Surge, but it's all about the follow-through. How can you react off of your first win? Kanzi is going to get the AK in hand. Meanwhile, Desolation and Doyle armed with the Galil. Cubed and Punisher, meanwhile, going to go a little bit lighter with the Max. Heavier onto that A bomb site this time around.
Oh, look at the setup they have in lobby right now. You have Cubed and Punisher moving through. Doyle up in heaven. Interesting cross they've set up for themselves to potentially catch someone from Crimson Vortex lurking, but I don't think it's going to be able to come through. You do have Doyle, who's still trying to stay on that side, but Punisher is going to get things started. Does take a little bit of damage, though, for his troubles, and that damage spread across the whole team for the most part, so not a healthy Storm Surge as they make it down into the B bomb site. Second time we've seen that execute work for them. Desolation getting the bomb planted behind the silos, and still full numbers for Storm Surge. So you have to think that this retake for Crimson Vortex is going to be very, very tough, as there's going to be a lot of angles they're going to have to clear out.
Yeah, I think this is almost an unwinnable situation here. They're not even going to attempt it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Karza's just going to go into the garage. I mean, it's hard, right? Because you don't want to give up. You've bought into this, right, with the MP9s and the Deagles. So you've bought into the hopeful, stack on that A site, and they just took B, and there's absolutely no reason to attempt a retake. So the Storm Surge team is going to pile up onto the ramp. Meanwhile, Crimson Vortex is going to spread out around the map just to keep those SMGs and those powerful pistols in hand. And that's 2 on the board for Storm Surge early on. A good start. Got to keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they've silenced me thus far. It's been a very strong start, and I like the way they've come out and play. It's these no-fear rushes down ramp, and I think they're just overwhelming Crimson Vortex right now, putting them in a spin cycle, you could say. And there's just no response right now. I mean, it just takes 1 kill to force a save when you can have everybody rush down ramp and get to B. So Storm Surge can keep getting a couple rounds like that in a row, especially on a T-sided nuke. Definitely going to be looking very healthy looking into the latter stages of this half. We'll see where they try and go here. Punisher maybe trying to creep up into this hut position, but we're looking at Bobble here on a deadly angle. I don't think that's going to be possible for Storm Surge to clear unless they get a little bit of help, potentially.
Yeah, some mollies are going to come in. They're going to flush Bobble out. He's going to get found out. Punisher blind is going to take Bobble out, but Springy and Slushy are going to follow through. Slushy up into heaven position with that Deagle. They're going to make quick work of this A execute. So A is not the route that Storm Surge wants to take. They look to be a little bit stronger. Crimson Vortex on that site. A little bit of a better understanding of how to hold it.
And that's okay. I mean, you get that out early. Now you know that the Crimson Vortex A defense a little bit stronger than the B one, so reassess. You do have rifles now on all sides. And you can take a look. This is going to be our first look at Bobble opping for the Crimson Vortex. This is something we highlighted in the pre-show. Definitely somebody to watch out for. Especially, got to keep an eye on Springy as well. We saw him get active in the last round. So you have to think that he's looking for more now to try and get his team tied with Storm Surge. There's just a plethora of smokes on the map right now. No shots connecting on all sides. Both teams in a little bit of a stalemate right now, trying to pick their way through the defense.
Yeah, I think the oh no, that was the second last. Bobble had the second last smoke on the map being thrown here with 1 minute to go. So not a lot of stall left for the side. Oh, there it is. That's the last one right there on the squeaky door. That's the last smoke. Less than a minute to go. So Storm Surge now, they have an opportunity here to take some space. Nothing is really going to stop them. A couple mollies in the hands of Crimson Vortex, but it's not really going to make a huge deal. Bobble, though, the shot through the wall onto Cubed. That is going to be a big deal. Now they're in the man disadvantage. 35 seconds left. They have to make a decision. Down into Secret they go. Kanzi and Doyle rattling off a couple of shots. That's information, though. They are... Uh-oh.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh. That's going to
Play
open it up.
from Desolation. And I was just going to say, having Bobble holding that ramp spot is going to make those B executes that much harder going forward. So give credit where credit is due, but Carson going to try and swing in and absolutely gets denied by Desolation. Punisher adding another one as well, but Crimson Vortex are not done yet. They are pedal to the metal to try and get back onto this B bomb site. Here comes McDeezy barreling his way down the ramp. Springy trying to make his way through as well. Open the door. Shots out onto Punisher, swings onto Doyle. It's 2v2 now, but Crimson Vortex not going to be able to get it done. Time runs out. Kanzi gets the last kill.
I was a little worried right there for Storm Surge. I'm not going to lie. The cubed pick early on kind of set the tone for the round, but for Desolation to be able to sneak up through ramp is a pretty kind of a big gap, I guess you could say, on the side of the Vortex. No one watching the Opper's back. That is definitely one of those infuriating feelings in Counter-Strike. You've got the most effective weapon in the game. The Yard smoke's going to come through. The bread and butter of Nuke. They're going a little different here. Up close onto Mini. Slushy, he might not expect this.
Be risky. Ooh.
Trades.
I didn't think that was gonna work because of the way the smokes were positioned, but somehow Storm Surge get away with only having one member fall, and Bobble just absolutely getting rushed right now, and he's gonna fall, and so does Karza. So it's all to McDeezy and Springy, the Sentinels left on the A site. And now McDeezy on the outside looking in the 1v3.
1v3 for McDeezy. He's going to need a masterclass here to bring this one back for Crimson Vortex. I don't even think he considers this at this point. 300 to his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got to play it safe. You got the M4. You can bring that into next round. The rest of your team is, frankly, they're pretty broke, right? There's nothing going on across the board for Crimson Vortex. But it's good to see the protocols for Storm Surge are strong. They're not even letting anyone up through Heaven as a potential option here. Kanzi is going to stick around just in case that Ninja Diffuse comes in, but McDeezy is just going to hang out in T-spawn and let this one go to 4-1.
And the reason that happens, and the other devastating effect of that round that comes through, is that you lose the op. Is now Bobble not in a position to buy back into it, at least for this next round. And now this gives Storm Surge a chance to build up more of these rounds and get the snowball effect, because at least as of right now, you have McDeezy as the only rifler. You might be able to get maybe one on the side, but I mean, the forecast is looking like upgraded pistols and SMGs potentially. Not a lot of utility going to be coming through here. So for Crimson Vortex, I mean, you're not out of it yet, but definitely down. You really have to try and lean on McDeezy's rifle to get something out of this one. And we know Coach Teague FPS is in the chat right now, and I'm sure they're taking advantage of that tactical timeout early. We'll see what exactly Crimson Vortex want to do here. Coming out of this, we do see at least 157 coming out. And we talked about it before. Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it.
It might be a pistol, but it can
Packs a
do
punch.
some damage. Like, that's a good way to say it. It does pack a punch in the right situations. So Storm Surge definitely can't afford to yet place it. Oh, that's a great nade coming through. Kanzi already at half HP, and Crimson Vortex really getting aggressive now, but Doyle going to make them pay with 2.
Desolation going to follow up with a third. Slushy, though, he is in a good spot, but he isn't going to make anything work with that deagle. McDeezy definitely known to be in this squeaky position. Punisher's going to get the bomb down, and that, if in anything, is going to signify that he is here. He's going to find one onto Doyle, but Kanzi is close by to trade onto McDeezy. 5-1 for Storm Surge. A great start, Evan. We talked about it. They kind of, early on in the season, that's what we saw out of them. We saw some good starts and a little bit of kind of lackluster performance in the, I wouldn't say like necessarily like the half point of the game, but they kind of got out to those good leads and really struggled to finish off some of those later rounds. It seems like so far in this game, we're following that same flow, but they look more confident than they were earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. I mean, this round is going to be a real test now. Crimson Vortex able to buy back in. You do get a couple picks from the last round, get some extra cash in your pocket. Op back on the field, full rifles as well. Not full utility belts for the side of Crimson Vortex, but enough to do a decent bit of damage. Speaking of util, Cube trying to get his lineup set for this molly. Does get it placed in the yard as more utility continuing to rain down on top of the hut, and the picks start to come through as well. Conti continuing to be hot. Him and Doyle rushing into the site, but still have to clear out McDeezy in heaven. That util gonna try and push him out, and it does. So assuming McDeezy can't secure this 1v3, 1v2 I should say, and this is gonna look a little hairy now as Kanzi and Doyle looking a little worse for wear.
Yeah, if you're McDeezy, I think at this point, it is a good opportunity to go for this. Yeah, you do try it. I mean, you don't necessarily know that they're low HP, but you might want to take a look at least. He's going to upgrade to the AK once again. 4-4. Does he have the clutch in him? Does find one onto Kanzi, but Doyle is able to follow through. Good trades right there from Storm Surge. That is a true sign that they are playing together as a team. No one is afraid to die for your brother here in the server. Kanzi 10-2 now. He is on an absolute heater. Springy not too far behind at 7-5, but Crimson Vortex 7, they have not looked really well meshed. That's the good word, I think, is they just don't really seem to be playing as a team completely.
Yeah, this aggression coming through from Storm Surge, I think, is just really overwhelming them, and I haven't really seen any responses, and this op from Bobble just completely nullified, at least as of right now, because I think he's only had 1 or 2 picks with the op, just been completely shut down, and you gotta give credit to Storm Surge, because that is one of their, that could be a weakness, potentially. Doyle does find one. Springy finally getting activated. He's trying to keep his team in it. 10 HP, though, does take some damage for it, but a counter punch coming through from Crimson Vortex, but Desolation answers with one of his own.
This is a huge play for McDeezy. Needs to find value here. Does find Desolation, who was low HP, was expecting the re-swing from another T there. Not going to give up that trophy room position lightly. Kanzi is going to hear those steps. Retreat back to ramp. Cube, though.
Nice pick.
Oh, man. Down through the vents. Into the ramp position. Now, the B site. Uh-oh. Was supposed to be wide open. Trying to bait. Trying to find time for that reinforcement. Cube, though, is going to deal with it himself. The headshot onto Slushy. Now, Bobble is left into the 1v2. Once again, what is the call here for Crimson Vortex? Do you go for this, or do you just try and save this rifle for the next round? The molly is going to come through. That is going to delay a couple more seconds. Cubed up on top of the silo. Has that really, really good position. I'm not sure about that smoke. That is just going to confuse Storm Surge more than anything, but he is not going to attempt this. He is going to try and get out of here. Storm Surge find their 7th in a pretty good fashion after Springy got 2 that round to really start to make some noise here in the server.
Yeah, it's been dominant on all sides, and I mean, if you're Crimson Vortex, I might be thinking of taking another timeout soon, because you just haven't been able to get anything going thus far. And I mean, yeah, you've been able to build up the econ a little bit because of all those loss bonuses coming in, but it doesn't really seem to matter right now. Storm Surge is just playing at such a high clip that they've been able to counter everything that comes their way. And like, unless the HUD is deceiving me, 0 kits coming through from Crimson Vortex once again. So if Storm Surge can get this bomb plant down quick and maybe find a couple picks like Doyle just did, that might be another round that you might as well be taking.
See there, I was just about to say, that was a good play by Bobble, but it's an even better play by Punisher. To be close by, to understand that these Crimson Vortex players, they are going to try and push these points, these gaps in Storm Surge's attack just to find any sort of value here. Crawl back into this game. This A site is completely open. Storm Surge, it's open season on the A site. Bomb is going to go down, springing into the clutch once again. They are broken, and they have really no option here but to save. I think that has been the key here for Storm Surge. They've been winning these constant kind of rebuys from Crimson Vortex. They just have not faltered at any resistance that Crimson Vortex has brought to them. And they are Crimson Vortex, meanwhile, has not been able to find any steady ground to really build off of. Kanzi is hunting for Springy down in that ramp position. Springy, though, is going to take him out. Is going to upgrade to the AK, but I think he actually might die to the bomb. Yep. I had a feeling, because they planted, I believe, in front of Silo there, so it wasn't too far away. But 8 on the board for Storm Surge, and there's that tack timeout that you were calling about, Evan.
Yeah, I think it might be a little too late at this point, just because of how Storm Surge has been playing. And you're talking about quality plays. And I mean, how good have the refrags been for Storm Surge? We saw great examples in the last round where somebody goes down and then you're able to immediately re-swing and re-aggress onto the attacking Crimson Vortex player. And that has been one of the difference makers. You talk about how Storm Surge have been playing so well connected and well, built. This team definitely showing off that they're working on their team play, and we're really seeing it tonight, because I think we were expecting this to be a lot closer than what it's been so far. I mean, there is still a lot of time left. We're not even out of half number 1 yet, but with the way Storm Surge have been playing, I mean, I don't really see this momentum slowing down.
No, I mean, this is an 8-4 half regardless, so if you're Storm Surge, you got to be pretty happy with it. You've kind of come out swinging, haven't looked back. That's the key. That's what we talked about. That's a missed off shot from Bobble right there, and a missed opportunity from McDeasy up close with the FAMAS. Meanwhile, a lot of these Storm Surge tees, they're just going to hold lobby. Kanzi is going to be first contact onto Karza. Gonna find the kill. Crashing out onto the site. Once again, Crimson Vortex can do nothing but watch their site get taken. It's an awkward situation, but Punisher has been there for his teammates all day. And it is going to continue here in round number 10. Desolation takes out Bobble. Once again, McDeasy in the clutch. And I'm going to be real with you, Evan. He doesn't got this one.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, you can't even go for it. I mean, no kit as well. I think he's just going to try and find some exits, but not going to happen as Storm Surge flawless in round number 10, just absolutely taking it to Crimson Vortex right now. I mean, hell, you talked about an 8-4 half. We could see an 11-1 half at the end of this one. I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, and if you're Crimson Vortex, I mean, Springy, your only player who's in the, in the positives right now. Everybody else has just had an absolute dud of a game thus far, and Pistol's coming out as well. That almost seems like you're conceding the round here, so we might get to see Storm Surge hit double digits before half 1 ends.
I think this is a GG go next type of game for Crimson Vortex. They've, I mean, not much money on the board, so you really can't buy into this, but they have really felt lackluster here on their CT half. Now, who knows, maybe they're a great T-half team on Nuke, and they can make this interesting. There's that 5-7 we talked about, that ever so powerful 5-7. Cubed, finds one onto Slushy. Kanzi still trying to deal with Karza, is going to get taken out by McDeasy up on the Raptors. Doyle and Desolation are there to trade. Cubed following through, and Springy once again. It's just been McDeasy and Springy in these 1v3, 1v4, 1v5 clutches for Crimson Vortex, and nothing has come out of them.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be another save coming through as well for Springy. I mean, what can you do? I mean, 39 HP, no kit, not even anywhere close. I mean, it seems like it's been a very similar story for a lot of these rounds. Storm Surge will aggress onto the site. They'll find at least 1 or 2 picks. They might lose 1 member, but Crimson Vortex, they just can't keep up. They just can't match the aggression that Storm Surge is throwing at them. And it's hard to say, like, is it momentum? Is it just a rough night for the team? It's hard to say, but I think one thing's for certain, though. Storm Surge definitely feeling the good vibes right now, continuing to just shred through their last few opponents. And if I'm sitting in the mid-range of the ESEA main division right now, this is not a team I want to run into right now.
Now, this is a red-hot Counter-Strike team here in Storm Surge. I mean, we haven't streamed all of their games. We missed that first one, but we've seen 5 games so far this season, and we have never seen Storm Surge play like this. Pure domination here going into round number 12. The full buy is here for this final round for Crimson Vortex. That's probably why they had those pistols last round, just to commit, try and find a second. This wall of smokes outside for Storm Surge. It's just going to keep vision denied for the Vortex. The first trades do come through. Doyle takes out Slushy in that garage position, pardon me. But there's just so many options, so many avenues and routes that Storm Surge can take onto these sites that have been so effective. So if you are Crimson Vortex, you just have to keep going. You just have to keep trying to find anything to walk away with here in this half. And now McDeezy is going to take out Cubes, and this could be set up for the Vortex's second.
Yeah, I think... I mean, you called it. You said it. I mean, it's better late than never, I guess, for the side of Crimson Vortex, but a very, very rough start for Crimson Vortex. And, I mean, you're down 8 right now going on to T-side of Nuke. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen, but that is a Herculean task to come all the way back, especially with the way Storm Surge has been playing. And we'll see if they can close it out here. I mean, a win in this pistol round here, I think, would definitely seal the deal for the win. But it all starts with finding that win in pistol. And we see Crimson Vortex, they're not taking any chances. They are trying to group up as much as possible. But Desolation getting into an angle we saw Crimson Vortex abuse. Not going to find anything, but Cube is going to no-look jump shot onto McDeezy. It's just been that kind of night for Storm Surge. They don't even need to see their opponents to finish them off. Just 2 members left of the Vortex in their way from round number 11.
They are going to swing out onto this B site, though. This is not something that Storm Surge was probably thinking as they hit that ramp and retreated. Doyle trying to tap away. Karza is going to take out Kanzi, though. That is a huge pick for the Vortex. Doyle's just trying to make noise. He's just trying to distract. Springy has no idea. He's up on the rafters. I don't know how he didn't hear him. Karza in the 1v1 now. It's a mirror match of that first round we saw here on Nuke. He has to swing out. He doesn't know if he's on. And Punisher is going to punish Karza for coming out of double doors a little too early. In this case, the pros, they do fake. Punisher is going to have enough time. The 11th round in the books for Storm Surge. And like you said, Evan, that might seal the deal here for the Vortex.
I cannot believe that Storm Surge got away with that. How did they get away with just sprinting down Catwalk and nobody tries to clear him out? I don't know what's going on. I mean, it just seems like it's been that kind of night for Crimson Vortex. You know, maybe turn down the NBA Youngboy in your headphones and try and listen to the game that's going on so you can hear the guy just sprinting down rafters to get to you. But, you know, we move. Crimson Vortex probably gonna have to move to a different bracket and echelon of the ESEA main division after this one, because this is definitely a VOD that you're just gonna throw away and get set for the next game. Not a whole lot of positives to come out of this game, I'd say.
Yeah, not a lot to take away from here in round number 6 of the ESEA League main division. Doyle is potentially going to get caught out. No, he is not. A little bit of a timing blessing there. Oh, for the Surge. The Storm Surge cubed with that MP9. Gonna find 2. Bobble and Doyle exchanging shots down near Secret. Little do they know they both weakened each other to the point of 1 HP. Kanzi and Karza dueling it out, and Desolation is going to lock this 12th round in for Storm Surge. Almost, well, actually, it is flawless. I was going to say almost flawless. Cube, though, is on 4 HP, and Bobble has nothing to do but sit back and watch as this 38 seconds has to run out.
It just seems like all these swings that are coming through for the Vortex, they're just going through like unabated. We're just seeing very careless swings coming through. I mean, we saw McDeasy there just coming out to swing into the ramp, like to ramp area, and just not even like checking the corners, like nothing, just going, you know, like we said, unabated and just not checking any corners. I mean, yes, I know you're down by a lot, and this most likely will end up being a loss for you, but still, it's just a lot of mistakes like that that are just really getting punished by Storm Surge, and not even just now. I mean, we're talking like early rounds as well, where it just seems like Crimson Vortex just couldn't get anything going their way, and mistakes that were being exploited by Storm Surge just started to pile up, and that's why they're in this position right now. And like we said earlier, a fairly embarrassing loss. I think you could even use that word now.
Yeah, embarrassing is the way to put it for the Vortex. 1 AK in the hands of Bobble. That is their savior here on round number 15. I don't really think they are going to pull this one through. Feeling pretty confident in the boys' ability to finish this one off here in round number 15. Just kind of a weird game overall, I think. I mean, it's been very entertaining if you're a Storm Surge fan, of course. But when you look at it from the Vortex, I mean, that pistol round, that T-pistol round, like you said, was so weird. I think Springy was expecting Karza to peek from control room to help him out, and he just wasn't on the timing and got left out to dry. So it really just feels like not a team effort for the Vortex. Meanwhile, we haven't seen Storm Surge play this much as a team. Really, it feels like all season. I mean, there have been the inklings as Slushy does take out Doyle here to open things up in round number 15. 45 seconds left on the clock. They do need to come to a decision, though, on what site they're going to hit.
Yeah, and all this time being wasted, that just benefits Storm Surge because, like you said, there are always so many ways you can go, and that decision finally getting made as ramp is going to be the call. Cube going to try and get in there. Does find Springy, but you do let the rest of Crimson Vortex slip down into the bowels of Nuke. Near the B site, Punisher going to be first on site. A tap from Bobble. Does fully commit now. Molly going to slow Punisher down to let that bomb go off, but a little too much skin being shown there as Bobble going to fall, and now it's all up to Karza. Have to reload the gun, try to get in. Not going to happen. The Storm overpowers the Vortex, and the Surge is too much as they come out on top 13-2. And if we've learned anything from tonight is that I should never doubt Storm Surge ever again. Guys, I'm so sorry. You please accept my humblest apology for ever doubting you. That will not happen again. Number one doubter, Evan Johnson. What more can I say? I apologize. I was not familiar with your game, you know, the whole bit, you know, but excellent win regardless from the Storm Surge boys. FaZe, what are you feeling right now? I mean, it looks like you got a lot of thoughts on your side right now.
Honestly, Evan, I'm happy they got the win, man. I'm so happy that they finally just played a game where they completely dominated from start to finish. I am also laughing at your prediction because that was really
Man,
funny. That was really
I'm getting
funny. I mean, hey,
Kazi is flaming me in the Twitch chat right now. Guys,
we
I'm sorry. I was basing it off of the stats in front of me, but I'm glad that you took that message and really took it to heart and
I mean,
ride it into
w-
the victory.
we both had some bad predictions because you said that Vortex was gonna win, and then I said that the game was going to OT. So we're both
I
kind of on the
forgot.
bad
I
spectrum.
forgot about that.
I
I
said
forgot
OT,
about that.
and it was the
Man.
most lopsided performance of the season. But it was good. It was good.
Mhm.
I think they played as a team perfectly, and I think. Oh, you know what? I do think we are. I think we have an opportunity here to speak to one of our Storm Surge guys after that good win.
Interesting.
Let's do this, man. Let's do this.
We're doing this
I know the
on the
director,
fly.
and we're doing this on the fly. We're doing this on the fly, but we are going to get one of the boys on here for an interview. Think of your questions, Evan. We have so many questions to
Why are you putting so much pressure on me right now?
to think about. I mean, now you're gonna have to face the player
Oh no.
right in front
Oh
of
no.
right in front of him. But we are going to throw to a quick break. When we come back, guys, we're gonna have an interview with a Storm Surge player coming up. We will be right back for that.
Uncover me, my flesh and sweet hollow hide. My disbelief in the unseen shadows hide. I found my place in the garden. Among the snakes in the darkness. My desperate ache for belonging. Above the stars. I found my place in the madness. I seek a way through the labyrinth. Open the gates to the palace. Unveil the dark. I found my place in the place in the garden. She's whispering lullabies. Sun settling deep in the night. Hear her cry. I found my place in the garden. Among the snakes in the darkness. My desperate ache for belonging. Above the stars. I found my place in the madness. I seek a way through the labyrinth. Open the gates to the palace. Unveil the dark.
Well, we are back once again for our first interview segment of the True North Studio Storm
Exciting.
Surge
Very exciting.
coverage. Very exciting. Konzi is here with us in spirit. No webcam today, but that's okay. Konzi, how you doing, buddy? Hey,
I'm pretty
I
good.
mean, it's a good night when Storm Surge wins.
Yeah, I
Hey, I'm.
Oh, who are
You
we?
guys,
Who's gonna?
you guys looked pretty on fire tonight. I mean, just looked like in general you guys kind of played together as a team almost to perfection. I feel like. I mean, there was a couple hiccups those 2 rounds, but you're gonna lose some, you're gonna win some, but that's all right. What was the vibe like today going into the game? Uh-oh.
Oh, I think
Technical difficulty.
we're doing this
That's
on the fly,
okay.
ladies and gentlemen. This is a live
Yeah, this is
production
on the fly.
that we're getting set up. We decided to do this like I think 5 minutes
Last
ago.
second.
very
Last
very much a
second.
last second. So please bear with us.
Send the audio. Just send the audio. Send it all. Send it all. That's okay. We can hang out. We can hang
Yeah,
out. Evan
we'll
and I
hang
can
out.
hang out. Voice
Yeah.
of Kanzi will be here eventually. We'll restart it. Chat. Forget those answers. Evan and I can yap a little bit while
Yeah.
Kanzi gets sorted here, and our director fixes those audio channels.
Mhm.
But I mean,
Shout out Carl, by the
pretty.
way.
Shout out Carl, by the way,
Shout out Carl.
on the sticks. On the sticks, we had a great crew tonight to put this show on
Mhm.
for the viewers at home. Miguel Hayes on the POV Observer and MJ on the, or sorry, other way around. MJ was on the POV and Miguel was on the free cam. So should be a pretty stacked VOD to go back and watch. I think.
No,
A
I
lot of good
think
clips in there.
I think so. A lot of good clips, a lot of banner moments. I think a lot of good fuel for the TikTok compilations, guys. I mean, like there was a lot
Hey,
going on, and we're gonna break it down once we fix Kanzi's audio because I'm already thinking about questions I want to ask because. You know what? I probably shouldn't even like I probably shouldn't even say anything.
don't
I don't
even.
wanna,
He
I don't,
can
I don't
hear
want to
us.
spoil.
So
I'm not gonna spoil
yeah,
Kanzi. I'm not gonna spoil any of the interview questions, but
he
I got
he wants to
I
know.
got some heaters prepped for you. I'm sure.
Dude, you've got heaters, dude. I've got nothing,
Oh,
man. I've got nothing.
it's all right.
I've got
I'll
nothing.
carry.
I think
It's all right. I'll carry.
we should be getting it fixed pretty soon. But we can just yap.
Hopefully.
We can just yap a little
Yeah.
bit
How's your
to fix it up.
How's your
How's your
night
night
going?
going?
Oh,
It's going pretty good.
pretty good.
It's going pretty good. I want to shout out. I want to do a little shout out. I want to shout out to the viewers, man. Shout out
Mm.
to the viewers for sticking around with us for this. Eventually, this voice of wait, is it this way? No, it's this way.
Other
This
way.
voice of Kanzi
It's like
thing
this one
will be true. We're just getting that sorted out real quick. Yeah, Evan's got the better pointer. But any highlights there, Evan, from that game that really stuck out to you? I mean, I know
so
we had
many.
a lot of clips.
Well, I
but
mean,
anything in specific?
I mean,
Now that Kanzi can't hear us, we can talk to each other.
oh, now I can tell how I really feel. No,
Yeah.
I think his 4K round one. I think that was the tone setter, right there. I mean, I think from that moment, it's all gas, no brakes. I'm trying to think. There were like so many moments where, especially in like the early rounds, because it's hard to pick out specifically because they all feel so similar. Where you find 2 or 3 picks, you plant bomb, you force save, rinse, repeat. I mean, that sort of is the strategy. I think we sort of talked about it a lot that round near the end where we just had Doyle just rush down catwalk on B and just find that
pistol round.
that big impact pill. Yes, exactly, that huge kill, right? In order to really secure the CT side for the team. So many moments like that, and I don't think there's really like any one thing. Like we had talked about in the pre-show how this was going to be a game of moments, and there was going to be like one moment specifically that was going to take the team over the edge. But I don't think that was true at all. I think it was a collage, you could say, of different moments that benefited the team tonight, and it was a solid team effort. We'll break it down specifically, like once we get the disembodied voice of Kanzi onto the stream, we'll get some more insight there. But I mean, like we said, I think it really just comes down to the team play and the preparation that we're going in tonight, because we were sort of reading chat messages in between, and from what Destillation was saying, that they just
Test.
I think it's working. I think it's working. It is working.
Can't.
He is here in spirit.
God.
That was the voice of.
Are we good? Are we good?
Oh my
Oh,
guys!
oh,
we gotta get
ask Chad if
Kanzi's
we can hear
voice
this.
sorted
Dude,
out, man.
my on Chrome, it was connected to like my audio input device, so I had to like actually
There we
unplug it and then
go.
reset
Oh.
it to my headset. But Chrome is just amazing, guys.
Oh my
like my
God.
fault. That's on me. That's on me.
No, that's okay. We appreciate you. We appreciate you taking the time out and.
Thanks for
chatting
waking
with
up chat,
us.
thanks for waking
Yeah.
up chat as well. I think they were
apologize.
falling
Yeah.
asleep a little bit, waiting for this to happen.
Okay.
Here I'll go. First question.
Yeah, go for it.
Kanzi, what was the team mentality coming into this game? Because you guys just came out firing right from round number 1. The mentality going into this game.
Honestly, like I feel like the mentality going into this game, like we weren't like overtly hype, but we were more of like let's get business done. Let's go in. Let's practice what we did in our warm up scrim. Let's practice what we've done in our other scrims, and just make sure our spacing's right. Make sure the communication is there. It was more definitely of a let's get business done kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty evident from the start that you guys were kind of feeling at an all like I kind of at an all-time high. Evan and I mentioned it like about I don't know, it's probably 10 rounds in that this was easily the best that you guys have played. I mean, so far this season. Anything specific tonight in those, especially in those early rounds, that you guys kind of noticed from them that you were just able to capitalize off of?
Honestly, Dezo did a really good job calling. Honestly, mix that with a lot of the entering that Doyle has done. Same with Dana as well. He's got some really nice entry frags to go along with that. It was definitely like an all-around team effort. But I distinctively remember in one of the later rounds, we were going secret and we paused for Dezo and Cube to crunch ramp, and it was like the perfect call because I think Dezo caught the opper just like with his pants down, honestly, and it had allowed us to just like take the site from secret. And I feel like a lot of what we were trying to do, which I think we don't really do in scrims, but was okay. We get secret control and let's checkpoint, let's pause, and let's try to see what the response is. And I think like the initial time that we did that, I think we were pausing for like 20 seconds. Like we were definitely burning the clock, and I feel like they just really didn't have an answer to what we were doing.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. I mean, I think you guys had said it in the Discord chat. You guys were just running circles around them essentially. And at what point in the game tonight did you realize that you guys could basically do whatever you want? It just did not matter what they threw at you. You were just gonna barrel through and win.
So in terms of we could do whatever we want, that thought actually never crossed our minds. We were completely like in the game trying to make the right reads and the right calls as opposed to just going we can just out aim them outside. Let's just keep going outside. Like every round that we had some sort of intent behind it. And honestly, I think it was like 7-1 or 7-0 where I think that the team started to realize like we're about to sweep them. Let's stay focused. Let's not get a little too overzealous, which that definitely happens with me. I'm a very expressive and excited guy, so a lot of yelling from me. The team speak. I'm not gonna lie, but besides that, like we just kept our heads together. And again, every single round we had a game plan for the round as opposed to just like laying out a default. I think we maybe 2 rounds on the T side, we actually ran a default as opposed to just like making a play off the read.
Yeah, I think you guys definitely you really locked in because we noticed early on, and I mentioned it. It was 5-1. We noticed early on in the season that you guys were taking early leads and then kind of stumbling a little bit in those kind of mid to late rounds, just kind of not being able to finish a couple, 3v2s or 2v3s in some scenarios.
Mhm.
But tonight, you guys just looked super super clean. I mean, congratulations on the win, 4 and
Thanks,
2.
guys.
That is nothing to scoff at, and
We're
I
pretty
think
excited.
yeah, you should be pretty excited. We were saying right at the end that I think if you're anyone in the main division, this is not a team you want to face right now. You guys are absolutely electric. But I think that is going to wrap it up here for us, Konzi. So appreciate you taking the time out of your
Thank
night
you. Thank you.
after that game to talk with us, and I'm sure we will talk again very soon.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Thanks again for casting and producing. We love you guys over here.
Hey man,
See ya.
it's our
Problem, man.
pleasure. It
Thank
is
you.
our pleasure. That was Konzi hanging
Hi,
out with
Kanzi.
us here, and thank you guys for hanging out with us in chat and chilling with us, watching some banger Counter Strike from Storm Surge. There he is, our little mascot, Mr. Snowman, hanging out with us as well. But Evan, any final thoughts here as we kind of close this one out?
I mean, no, I think we sort of had that with the interview there. That was a nice little bow to put on. I think sky's the limit right now for Storm Surge, and like you said, I don't think anybody's going to want to be facing this team as we prepare for next week and the next rounds of main division. This is a team that's hot. They're confident. They're feeling themselves. They believe in themselves. And I think that's just the perfect storm, you could say, to propel this team to success in the future.
Cinema. It's cinema, ladies and gentlemen. He's here all night. Evan, it was great to cast with you, buddy. I love being in front of the camera with you. Shout out to our production. I mean, we talked about it a little bit while we were getting that interview set up, but shout out to Varsil as our director. Shout
Varsity
out
on
to
the six
MJ.
tonight.
Varsil on the 6 tonight. Shout out to MJ, our POV observer, Hayes, our free cam observer, and again, shout out to chat. Follow us on our socials. We are going to be back again next week, next Tuesday, for another Storm Surge match. But that's it for us here tonight. So thank you all for watching, and enjoy your night, everybody. We will see you all again very, very soon.